Do I even want to look at you today?
Probably not.
Do you want to look at me today?
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah.
Of course I do.
Every time I try to go over to you, you're like...
I'm just trying to communicate with you. You've got something stuck in your teeth. Get rid of it before we start. You can't be putting that up on YouTube to stay to me.
Welcome to How Are You, Lovie?
Yes, how are you all getting on? Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Welcome back to HAYL headquarters. As you've been saying enough that it has stuck with me, so
Okay,
I'm fair
good.
enough. I'll take it on board.
Don't forget to rate, review, share and subscribe. I'm taking your lines
There
today.
you go. Well done.
Yeah. And anything you want to comment on or send a little email, howareyolovie@gmail.com.
Yeah, it's always nice to just say at the start of the episode, because if there's anything that comes up over the next little while and you're going, oh, do you know what? I have something to say on that. I really like to get to them. We will get to correspondence a little bit later in the episode. I want to start off today's episode by shouting out Hannah. That's her username. She's listening in the US and she rated us 5 stars.
Thank you.
Over on Apple Podcasts. And listen to this. This is lovely. She said, I'm a new grandma from California, mother to 3 grown kids. I adore this show. Being in the trenches feels like yesterday, and I love the humour and realness of Ash and Carl. Can we get a daily podcast from you two? It's the only thing that could improve this stellar show. What a lovely review.
Podcast.
No, I'm not hoping hell. No way.
One is enough.
Once a week. Well, it is twice a week now.
It is twice a week, but yes.
Because we have our bonus episode. But thank you. That's a gorgeous
Thank you, Pen Hannah.
review. And it's nice to have people listening from elsewhere, which we will get to in this correspondence a little bit later on as well. I know there's an email from someone who we asked if there was anyone listening in from there to get in touch. Right, will we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay, Ash, tell me.
No, do you know what? You tell me. How are you, Lovie? I feel like you might need to go first.
No. Wait, sorry, just so you know, I know
You start off high pitch, so that's where we're at.
Because
Okay.
you're thinking I'm going to have a go here.
No, I actually am not. I just feel like you might need to explode off your chest a little bit. So you were high pitched with your answer. No, there. So go on, tell me.
As you can probably sense, we've had a couple of days where we probably haven't been communicating very well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's fine.
Which is okay.
That is, as I constantly say to you, it is okay to have those days.
So what I was actually going to suggest is, I do think we should skip Sniper Alley for this week. Give ourselves an amnesty. And I've got something else that I would like to bring to the table involving tea.
Okay.
Because I gave a very, very kind of controversial opinion on the bonus episode last week surrounding tea. So I've got an experiment that I'm going to do a little bit later on. Other than that, I mean, look, we're at the end of like an Easter bank holiday weekend, and we did have a lovely weekend, but like we were going into it like a bit sleep deprived.
Yes.
And I think we're feeling the effects of it now.
Yes.
We are. Everyone was tired and cranky in the house, like.
Yes.
But we went down to our friend's house. They live in down in Wexford, and we had a gorgeous stay with them because all the kids are around the same age, and we've gone holidaying with them, so all the kids are like best pals at this stage.
Yes. Yeah.
But the one thing that struck me, bar the lovely like having time with friends and all that, when we woke up on Sunday morning in their house, and it was our kids woke up first, so it was kind of very early in the morning. It was about 7, but anyway, we were getting going with the whole day, and their house is like not in the middle of nowhere, but it's
Countryside.
It's definitely more countryside than
remembering
we are here.
that the minute Carl leaves the pale, he thinks he's in the sticks.
Well, I'm not. Hang on, I was just saying it wasn't actually totally the shticks, but it's enough out of the way that like when we opened the door, it was actually quite drastic. Where I was like, Jesus Christ, the sound of the birds.
Yes.
Because it made me realise we don't get that in Dublin.
Do you not hear a bird every morning? No.
You do a little bit, but it's like seagulls, and it's like
He didn't get that, did he?
hearing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bed beside me. So anyway, yeah, it made me realise just how, I don't know, how urban it is where we live. And don't get me wrong, like we're so lucky that like we have our house and like we're close by to family and all of that stuff. But it I don't know, maybe I was getting reflective, but I was like, Jesus Christ, are we nuts living in Dublin?
Oh, we totally are.
But
I do think that like
the cost of everything and
but I do think prices, it's all relative. Like if we were living further away, we'd also have the fuel prices at the moment.
Well, and anyone who's commuting, I'd say that's stressful at AF. Thinking about all of that.
So that's a huge thing.
Yes.
You know that way. So I read an email or a message in on one of the nurses group on Facebook. There was a girl who was commuting from the Midlands up to a Dublin hospital. She had 2 kids. So very much, I know we've 3, but 2 kids. And because of the cost of fuel and childcare and mortgage, she was only able to live out another month.
Really?
Yeah. Which is scary. That, like, you know, and I mean, like, there's no subsidy from that point of view in regards to fuel. I know they've just done the fuel price and they lowered them a little bit.
Yeah,
but like,
not
even in
much.
regards to someone that's doing those commutes for like a key worker position, there's no
Yeah.
help there.
No, but that's it. Like, I mean, and the problem is that then you've got like in the big cities around the country, like that's where the house prices are the most expensive. So therefore people have to move outside, which forces them into commuting more.
Yes,
because that's
but then
where the jobs tend
commuter
to be.
towns, the houses are
It's just as expensive.
just as
So you
expensive.
have to go further out again,
Yes.
and it adds more
Yes.
expense in terms of commuting. Yeah, it is crazy.
I remember when I was living in London, if you worked in a big city hospital, so when you worked in London, you got a special, was it a subsidy?
It's like a stipend or
A
something. What would
stipend
you
on
call
your
it?
paycheck.
Yeah. What was it called again?
I can't remember what it was.
I always remember you showing it to me on your pay slip.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
And they also had key worker accommodation. So if you were going to buy a house, you had key worker rental accommodation and key worker, you know, they'd have sometimes specific council houses and estates. You'd also have specific number of key worker houses in estates or apartment blocks.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing like that here.
Sure, Ash, she even in where you work, and I know this is the case for in a lot. I know we're specifically talking now around like kind of hospital workers,
Yes.
but I know this is the case in most of the hospitals
Mm-hmm.
where you've got people who have to get up and arrive to work like an hour and a half early to get a car parking space.
Yes.
Like, and there's loads of people that are on the road at like 5:30 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
so that they can get to the car park by 7 to get
Which
a
I
car
know-
park space
I
and
know-
sleep in the car.
Staff that are travelling from Limerick, from Kilkenny, that are coming up for their shifts.
That's madness.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And you can just imagine how difficult that is at the moment in terms of the price of it.
Leitrim.
Jesus. Yeah,
Mayo.
no, we are
Mayo.
So we are very lucky in terms of the two of us don't have a massive commute to work. But yeah, I don't know. It just made me go, bar family,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like there's something about it just being a bit more rural and being more in nature. That was
Yes.
actually the big thing, was just
No,
the
no,
nature
100%.
aspect of it.
It is blissful. It's just opening up that door. And that's what, I mean, this couple who we were, like our pals who we were with, they did used to own up here.
Yeah.
And then they left to go home and build on the land. Plenty of road frontage there, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, yes, fabulous. So when they built on the land, it's the best decision ever. You know, one of them is still working up in Dublin. She's commuting up, but
Yeah.
then she gets to go home, and every weekend she opens that door and it's there.
It was heaven.
It's amazing.
It really was. Now, listen, I know obviously as well, the grass is always greener. Like if you're going to someone else's house and, you know, you're away for a bit of time off. But yeah, it just, and maybe the answer to it is actually just, like, not to sound all bloody David Attenborough on it, but like,
Go on, tell me.
well, is it to just go and spend more time in nature?
Yeah.
Because we're lucky as well. The Dublin Mountains, they're 20 minutes away from us here. Is it just
Yeah.
actually making the effort on the weekends to be like, right, we're going up the mountains
Yes.
and having a drive or a walk or whatever it might be? The other thing that was on my mind, just with it being Easter at the weekend,
Go on.
this is one now, I don't know if I'm going to have to tiptoe around it, but like, I'm going to have to try and properly articulate myself here. It made me wonder about, like, we're getting to the age now where we're probably going to have to decide on, like, I used to go to mass a lot when I was a kid. Like, I grew up in a very religious family.
Sorry, is this because Davey has started saying his grace?
No, not even
No, no.
that. Just with, we'll get to that, but like, just with it being Easter,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay, grand, we're going to sit through the whole process of an Easter dinner.
Yeah.
Same with Christmas. You're going to sit through the whole process of your Christmas dinner and being together with family. And you're like, okay, like, I was brought up Catholic.
Yes.
I still think I believe in God.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people be like I'm sometimes embarrassed to say that. That's actually the truth of it, because I do understand that there's like a lot of baggage now when it comes to
Yes.
particularly the Catholic Church in Ireland.
Yes.
But yeah, I would consider myself a religious, spiritual is probably the better way of
Yes.
putting it. But I have to say, growing up as someone who like, you know, I've a religious family and we would have gone to mass every single week. I kind of like what it taught me. I like the
morals and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
the people that also brought you up. Where are you going with this? Sorry.
I'm just wondering, like, it's one of those things where, do we bring our kids to mass? Like we haven't had that
yes.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, no, we do bring them to mass when there's certain things on. Or like we do bring them into the church and things like that. But like, I mean, we do have them christened. And
but that's
they
what
are going to Roman Catholic schools. So
But it's more on a higher level.
how do we factor that in?
No, not even that. On a higher level, I'm like, I grew up with like being taught about like religion and, you know, there's a creator of all of this. And whether you believe it or not now as an adult,
Yes.
as kids, are we going to talk about God? Are we going to talk about this is the person who made all of this? This is the person we're going to be thankful for all of this.
I think your parents do that in that regard. When I talk with our kids, I talk about being spiritual. And then when I do things in regards to like deep breathing and stuff, it's always about their inner self. So I'm always trying to get them to come back to here, come back to center. So that's being like the spiritual side of them and listening to the birds and stuff like that. So it's just about, and then we also, like, I do go into the church with them. Your parents bring them into the church. They like going into like candles. And they know in there to be quiet because you have to listen and listen to the stillness. Ayla gets very emotional in a church.
Yeah, she does.
Because of the stillness.
Yeah.
So I actually think out of everybody, she probably is totally on your trend, is that it's ADHD and it probably brings her down too much that she's not able to regulate herself at the moment. But I think we do it in regards to the age, like it's age appropriate at the moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's just more, I think there's a bit of a distinction in terms of deciding on whether you're bringing them up religious or are you bringing them up spiritually.
Well, I think we made that decision when we like baptized them, Carl.
But let's be honest. There's a lot of people listening here who would have got the kids baptized, but they're not religious. And that's like kind of a result of like that's kind of baggage from the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church did have so much control over the school system and all of that stuff. So sometimes you still need to get kids baptized to get them into the schools you want to get them into.
Well, it's not even like, I mean, they still have the control, because one of the schools I was applying to, in their email, I said, there's no date yet for the applications. And they said, because we haven't got the go ahead from the Archdiocese. So the Archdiocese had to say, okay, I'm happy with the admissions policy. Now you can put out your enrollment date. So they have that, like that power as to when you set your enrollment date.
So they still is.
There's still a lot of power there. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not saying that we have to have it decided, but it did make me go, oh, okay, right. Like the older they get, the more they start to ask questions. And it's like, are you actually bringing them up to be spiritual and to kind of set them up so that like later in life they can decide?
But I think we're doing everything right at the moment. I think we're doing it in all respects. As in, your family will bring them into church. I would generally talk about the spiritual side of things with them.
Yeah.
And then they know there are different cultures there as well. So it's just but then they don't have enough exposure to it. Like they are exposed to yoga, so they understand that, but they don't marry up with the physical part of yoga and the spiritual side of yoga yet, but they're aware of it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this before.
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
No, you have already asked me this. I would be spiritual. I believe, I think I said this before, I'm more on the trend of Hinduism.
So do you believe that there's a higher creator?
Yes. And I believe that they believe, like, they just want you to be grateful. So it doesn't matter who you are. So you just need to be, it's just about being grateful for something, and that is effectively going to help your higher being.
And it's funny though, because then see that idea of being grateful, that was almost one of the things that triggered the whole thought in my head, because like whenever I go to my mum and dad's house, like Sunday dinner was a big thing when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And whenever we're together as a family, we say grace.
Yes.
And it's like always been a thing in our life. And to the point where like we were with the kids and my sister Trace always says the grace Oscailga.
Oscailga, yeah.
And none of us knew how to say it, Oscailga.
I know, shameful.
So we FaceTimed her.
Yeah. Well, no, what happened was we were having family dinner, Mullan Sunday dinner, and you had all started eating. And I was like, hang on a second.
Where's Grace?
Where's the grace?
Yeah.
So it's traditional now that the grace happens. And I was like, no, this has to fly. So then Davey, fair play to him, said, say the one that Auntie Trace. So he's used to, he's very much a stickler for the rules. He's like his mother. So he doesn't like change, and he wanted Auntie Trace to do it.
Yeah. But he
loved it.
That's the thing. And even growing up, like it was never a case of, we didn't grow up in a house where it was like, ramming religion down your throat at all, or being like, you have to be this, or like nothing about fear. It was all about like being grateful and being aware that like, you know, there's a bigger picture than just you.
Yeah.
So like say grace, when we would say grace, it was more about being thankful for the fact that like someone has taken the time to make this.
Yeah.
And someone has taken the time to grow all of this. And
Yes.
that was nearly it. So it was more like, I was thinking about that. Like obviously we want our kids to be grateful and to have all of those kind of traits.
Yes.
So yeah, that was what brought it into my head anyway.
Yeah. And then sometimes, I'm just thinking of this now, Davy has a teddy called Quack Quack.
Yeah.
And Davy is Quack Quack is his best pal
Ah.
of all time. But there was a picture that your mum found that you made in school one day.
Yeah.
And it is effectively a mirror image
Quack
of
Quack.
Quack Quack. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. So I have that on his bunk bed. So he looks up at that picture of Quack Quack every night. So I do say to him, as like, Quack Quack's looking after you. If I'm
Yeah.
putting him to bed, I'm like, Quack Quack's looking after you.
Yeah.
So he knows there's this thing of someone is watching over you and someone's minding you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's where I'm like, it's more like it's that higher power, but that higher power could be your own higher power.
Totally.
Do you know that way?
Yeah.
So, no, I think they get enough exposure and age appropriate exposure, and then when they go to school, that's when, if you know, you want to ramp it up then from that point of view. But
Yeah.
at the moment, they're not in school. There's no need for, like, they've definitely got exposure to masses and everything.
Yeah.
So they're all good in the hood, I think.
I go in and out anyway of like, one day I believe, one day I don't. I don't know what way is up.
Not that I don't believe. I just think, everywhere, somewhere along the line, whether you're religious or not, there is something for everybody. Like, you might believe in not believing.
Yep.
And you're also grateful for that.
Yes.
So that's where my train of thought is. And like, yeah, when you are in mass and you're saying all the prayers, there is a comfort thing there for me because it's what we grew up on. But then equally, there's little bits of every single religion. And I think that's what they teach now in religion in schools. It's like the important stuff about each religion. Like, it's not just about Catholicism and Christianity.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Ash, how are you, Lovie?
Do you really want to know?
Go on.
I'm just exhausted.
Go on.
I am exhausted.
I know. Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at my hair. I've actually just thrown up. I didn't even make an effort. I have made no effort.
I think your hair
at
looks
all.
nice. I love when you look like this. Aren't you?
Sorry.
Aren't you? There's nothing wrong with how you
The
look.
hair's just tied up. I can feel spots coming out. I pulled out 7 chin hairs this week.
Good.
The eyebrows need to be done. I'm just like, I can't. I'm tired.
I know, but Ash, it is okay. Like
Oh,
that
I know
you're
that's
like,
okay.
you know, no, I know.
never said it wasn't okay.
No, I do think though you kind of like you're very hard on yourself.
No, I'm not hard on myself at the moment. I'm saying I'm tired and I'm exhausted.
Okay, but I feel like you want
No,
something out of me.
I'm
for
just
this.
saying I'm tired and exhausted.
So is that your how you love you? That's it.
That's
Just move on.
I know, as in, I'm exhausted. I said this here. I found the last 2 weeks very hard. I don't get through a day at the moment without getting upset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired from that as well. But it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
So I know, that's what I'm saying to you. I am tired and exhausted, which is probably why our communication levels haven't been fantastic. But in saying that, we've had a lovely conversation for the last 27 minutes, so I enjoyed that.
Exactly, it is nice.
Yes.
No,
And I enjoyed Easter. I enjoyed being with my pals that you have now claimed as your own, and we went down to their house. So I did enjoy that. The lads went out for drinks. The girls stayed at home. The lads went out to the pub.
and we booked a trip away.
And they booked a trip away. Well, also, they said they were going somewhere. And I said, did you put this into the lads group? And the lads were like, yeah, ages ago. And I said, lads, you need to tell me the date because Carl just does not have time to look at his phone anymore. So I was like, what's the date? And they told me, I was like, he's free. So you had to go, I organised it for you.
And I
you just
booked
need to book it.
It was great.
Yeah.
So we're going to the horse racing at some point.
And then they
I know nothing about horse
And
racing.
then they came back and said, we might need to take away the spa. The girls and I are going away a couple of weeks' time, and we're going to somewhere that has a spa. And the girls and I thought, well, what it is we're going there for a night. And then I said, well, why don't we go an extra night?
Yes.
So that's the plan.
I often say to you, you should go off and
take
do
your
this.
time.
You should go off and do that. But
Well, actually, we had that discussion today.
we did.
Of let's not of
Go on.
Will
You
I
can tell.
say it?
You can tell them.
okay. he said to me, you should go and take this time. And I'm heading away with 2 of the girls from work this weekend. And he's like, now, is there anything? Now, like his neurodivergent brain, your neurodivergent brain is trying to be accommodating. And he said, is there anything I can do for the weekend? And I said, well, no. I was like, so in my head, I'm like, I'm making the dinner for you for Saturday night, but I'll make it on Friday before I go so that the evenings are easier for you, so that it's less of a shit show coming into Sunday morning, and then you're not going to be panicked with me coming back on Sunday. So I just said to you, if I'm away for the weekend, that means there's a knock-on effect coming into the following week, because I'm not here over the weekend to do all the things that you're unaware of what I do, so that we can go functioning back into the next week.
Yeah.
So I just said to Carl, we were going for a little drive, going to the reindeer park so the kids could have a little run. And I just said to Carl,
What?
And I thought the moment I said it, I was like, I could say it nicely or abruptly. And no matter what way I say it, he's going to be offended. And you were offended. But I said, normally when I take a couple of hours out or a night away, I still end up coming back to a shit show, and it's extra work on me. So it's not worth my time going away. We've had this discussion before, have we not?
We have.
Yes. So anyway, that's what we were talking about today.
There's a lot of extra context that they're not getting.
Not to that sentence. No, there's not.
Yeah, but as to why I got offended.
You got offended because...
I was on the back of 2 days of...
But I'm on the back of picking up after your arse for how many weeks?
I'm way better. Way better.
You had improved, and now we're both exhausted, so you're slipping up again. Anyway, the crux of it is I'm going away with the girls. And the house is going to be a shit show, but let's watch this space.
I will try for it not to be a shit show. I will, and
I
as I always do.
And I know you will try.
I will try my very best.
Your mum will come down and help you.
You often come home and you're like, what are you stressing about? But actually most of the time, I'm not stressed because I had the kids. I'm stressing because I'm like, I don't want you coming back to a mess or to a shit show or to whatever. Because I don't want to like make your life stressful, if that makes sense.
I know, and I totally get you, and I totally know there's effort there.
But it's sometimes like I obviously fall short, but I'm kind of confused as to how I've fallen short a lot of the times because I don't see it.
I think we spoke about it in length last week. What you need to do is give them a communal, combined activity. Keep the back door closed so bathing doesn't go out. And when they're doing their little activity, you get the bits done.
Okay. All right. I'll try it.
In other kind of, like, in the rest of the week, though, like, what have I been obsessed with? Yes, we're obsessed about the mission.
The Artemis 2 mission.
2. Like, to the extent that I am, like, gone full conspiracy theory with everything now. I'm gone down a rabbit hole with this.
You love a conspiracy theory.
No, I don't. Not that I love a conspiracy theory. I love learning about the conspiracy theory and then making my own summations from it.
Yeah, that's a fair. Yeah.
Do you know that way?
Yeah.
I just have a lot of questions at the moment.
About what?
Just about, is it 1969, 1967? 1967 moon landing?
I think it was 69.
69 moon landing. I just don't understand what.
Jesus Christ, you're about to say that the moon landing didn't happen.
No, well, I was talking to you about this earlier and about the whole Artemis project, so the SLS project at the moment. So Artemis 1 effectively was to go up and see if a rocket could go up and go around the moon. Did we not already do that? Then the second one was, can the rocket bring people up and go around the moon?
Yeah.
But they learned so much from the first one about the heat shield, right? And now in the second one, after watching the second Artemis number 2 going up with the 4 people in it, the 4 people there are saying it's freezing and they wish they had their heavier sleeping bags with them. One of them was like, when I'm finished the TV slot, because they were talking to CNN and Fox News, he's like, I'm going to put my beanie hat on because it's cold and you need a bald head on them, right? But I was like, if they had... The
bald head was not necessary.
Right, sorry. So then it's a case. Well, no, because my summation is the rest of them have hair. So that's why they're not wearing their beanie hats, okay? So anyway, so the next thing then is, would they not have known this from previous? So we have all the technology at the moment, and over half a decade ago, these people went up to the moon. But yet they're trying to figure these...
Over half a century ago, you
Over
mean?
half a century ago, sorry. This is Ukraine and Chechnya all over again.
Yeah.
So then, but now they're trying to figure this all out. So this is my rabbit hole at the moment. But then, to the extent, right, I have now gone through how many hours each of them have done in space.
Right.
And
The people who are on Artemis 2 right now.
exactly.
Okay.
So there's the commander-in-chief, there's 2 mission specialists, and then there's the other fella.
Okay.
Who's not the driver, sorry. So the driver is Glover.
Well, I'd want the fucking driver to be the
pilot.
most experienced.
Sorry, so you're commander-in-chief, you've got your pilot, and you've got your 2 mission specialists.
Well, I'd want the pilot to be the most experienced. If I'm flying to the bleeding moon.
And he's not.
What?
He comes in 3rd.
How many hours has he done?
He's on 150 something.
Hours?
Yeah. No,
What?
days. Sorry, days, right?
Still, I don't fancy that now. Because you
And
get
then your
what?
commander-in-chief is number 2, that's your man Reed Weissman, okay? He's on 170. Who has the most out of the next 2? There's 2 mission specialists left. There's Christina Koch.
Her name isn't Christina Koch, is it?
Yeah, it's Hammock Koch. Koch. And then you've got yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got the other fella, Henry.
I'm going to say it's Koch.
It is Koch.
Is it?
333 days. She lived on the International Space Station, which Ayla is obsessed with at the moment.
Obsessed with.
But she lived on the International Space Station, so she's done the most amount of days.
Wow. That's class.
So this is where I'm at the moment. Like, right, okay, so people are up in space.
Why is she not driving?
Well, she lived up there. She's spent the most amount of time up there. So her job is like mission specialist. So like she would have to figure out the science equipment and stuff that she would have.
Okay, she's probably a completely different set of skills. To be fair.
Set of skills, yeah. So, but like, yeah, complete rabbit hole. So now I'm like, right, so people have been up in space. And then when you go down the other, like the rabbit hole even further, you're then discovering that there's the Skylab 1, 2 and 3. So like, I understand there have been different levels of orbiting the moon and
Missions to orbit the moon.
Missions and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not 100% convinced that in 1969 these lads ended up on the moon.
They landed on the moon. Well, you're not the only person who thinks that, because there's a lot of people who believe that it was all recorded in a sound studio. And there's small things like, oh, wait, you see, you've a great rabbit hole to go down with this.
Yeah.
Because there's all this stuff around. There's footage of the spacecraft, and I think it's of it taken off. There's something anyway. Oh no, it's of the lads and they're bouncing around on the moon. But you see the flag move. You see the flag wave.
Right.
I think that's what it is. And people are like, you're in a vacuum, you're in space.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then when you're talking about space, right? Because then when I was watching the mission tonight, your 1 clock,
Yeah.
she's wearing a catheter.
Right.
So she'd have to self-catheterize herself up there.
How
But
do
then
you-
I'm wondering,
How do you catheterize it?
but then I'm wondering, do they catheterize each other? So anyway, then I went down a rabbit hole about them weeing when they're up in space. You can't wee in space because there's no gravity. So when you wee in the toilet,
you're drinking it and it's floating up in beads into your face.
and then on the International Space Station, I read, because I went down a rabbit hole when I was studying your 1 Christina Koch, that you recycle your urine to make it and sterilize it and filter it to make it drinking water.
Shut your no.
That's what it said.
Bullshit.
The Google said it does.
They're drinking their own piss.
They're drinking their own.
They're doing a
it's
Bear Grylls on
refiltered.
it.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, Carl.
That's madness.
And then it was very interesting. So they're talking about doing,
Ew! Sorry. No, I need to go back. Are you drinking your own filtered piss? Or are you
someone
drinking
else's
someone
piss?
else's filtered
I'd
piss?
say it all goes into one system.
Ew! They're drinking each other's piss.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
I
mental.
don't know. This is my brain figuring this out. That's just so. Then we're kind of when you're thinking about all these things.
But then,
Go on.
just to put it out there,
Yes.
it's huge question marks around, like, you know, water is like fresh water. It's a finite resource. And they say that, like, you know, future wars will be fought over water and clean water. It's such a precious thing. Would they not invent a system where we could all start filtering our own piss?
Maybe there are systems. Ask Aero. Maybe there are systems there.
Okay, hang on. Is there a system on planet Earth that allows you to filter your own piss and turn it into drinking water?
Yes, there actually is. It's called a urine filtration or purification system. In survival scenarios or space missions, like on the International Space Station, technology like advanced filters or distillation can turn urine into drinkable water. It's not something you'd do at home, but on Earth, similar tech is used in water recycling systems to reclaim every drop possible. It's pretty ingenious, even if it sounds a bit wild.
But then, well, if it works, why aren't we doing it everywhere?
Well, it's a mix of practicality and cost. Large-scale water treatment is already pretty efficient at recycling wastewater from less extreme sources. Plus, the idea of directly recycling urine is still a bit of a mental hurdle for most people.
Hang
In
on.
places with severe water scarcity or closed environments like space, it's vital. As tech improves and we shift to a more sustainable mindset, we might see more of these closed-loop systems.
So could I buy one of these systems for my house?
In theory, yes, there are compact water recycling systems that can reclaim grey water from showers or sinks, but a full urine to drinking water setup like in space isn't standard at home. It's complex and pricey. But water recycling tech like rainwater harvesting or grey water reuse is becoming more accessible. If you ever see a home-ready space station kit for that, you'll know the future's arrived.
When they're filtering their piss on the International Space Station, do they all drink their own filtered piss, or is it all like a collective drinking of each other's piss?
It's definitely a team effort. All the reclaimed water is pooled together, so no one is drinking their own personal bottle of filtered pee. It goes through a complex system, gets purified to rigorous standards, and then everyone on board drinks the same high-quality water. It's all about efficiency and safety. No individual brands of water up there.
High quality. Ew, that is rank. I can't believe that. I actually cannot believe that.
Now, let's get out of the rabbit hole. We have a little bit of a...
We do. We have an experiment to do. So just to give some actually, you know what? Let me flick the kettle first, and then I'll get into the reasoning behind it.
Flick the kettle
Okay.
on. What are you going to use as the blindfold?
You don't need a blindfold,
Okay.
because I've put all of the tea bags into numbered cups.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let me just bring everyone up to speed. Last week on the bonus episode, someone asked us a question of what's your most controversial opinion? Or just give us a controversial opinion.
Yes.
And my controversial opinion, which I will die on this cross, is that there is no difference between any of the different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Teas, tea bags.
The tea brands.
100%
They
there
all
is.
taste the same.
They don't.
Barry's, Lyons, off-brand, they all taste the same.
No.
And I think anyone who says that they taste different is lying. So, with that in mind, I've designed an experiment where you're going to do a blind taste test.
To see if I can tell
Of
the difference
different-
between Lyons and Barry's.
If I've got a few different ones. So just...
Okay, the other thing though as well, right? I said to you to give me the tea bag so I can smell.
I will. So I'm going to give you that. All right. So on the table today, because obviously, excuse me. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of different tea brands, but the big hitters in Ireland are Barry's and Lyons. And then I took Bewley's into it as well.
I'd know a Bewley's bag.
I didn't go for any of the like supermarket off brands or anything like that. So
Okay.
that's what we're dealing with. So
Okay.
I've got 5 different types of tea because I also went for Barry's and Lyons gold blend as well as their original blend. So I want to see if you can tell the difference between any of these. So I want you to see if you can guess what one you're drinking, and then I want you to pick a favourite and tell me if you taste any difference between them.
Okay. The other thing I said to you is to not put milk in.
You just want this dark black
I just want
tea.
it dark because I put oat milk in. Don't know if that's going to make any difference between the tasting, but it's more the colour. I'll know Barry's by the colour of the tea.
Nonsense. Absolutely. They all look the exact same. They look the exact same.
No.
Okay, so once this is boiled now...
It's like Barry's inject more red into it because it's made in Cork.
Is it made in Cork?
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, packed in Cork, Ireland. Right, so while the kettle's boiling, I'm going to get on to a bit of correspondence here, Carl. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's perfect.
My first bit of correspondence is from Deirdre Cullinan.
Go on.
So Deirdre got in touch with us because on a bonus episode 2 Saturdays ago, we were talking about gadgets you can't live without.
Oh, yeah.
The topic came up about having 2 dishwashers in the house. Do you remember
Yes.
this? Yes.
So for anyone who missed this, people were saying that you have 2 dishwashers, one clean, one dirty, and nothing ever gets packed away.
it saves on covered space.
Yeah, it's either in the clean dishwasher, which you take the stuff from,
Yes.
and then when it's finished with, it goes into the dirty dishwasher,
Yes.
and you move between the two of
Keep
them.
moving between the
Yeah.
two. Anyway, Deirdre messaged in. She says, I enjoy the pod every week. Re the gadgets. Double dishwasher. I have one for 20 years. Maybe it's not 2 dishwashers size, but it's absolutely brilliant, especially as the children get older and there are dishes, plates on the go constantly. It is so handy, and we take the clean dishes from one, use them, and then put the dirty ones in the other dishwasher.
See? This is
So
what
she
I was
did
saying. I think there's a bit of logic here.
Send in a picture, and what I will say is it's probably like, it looks like a dishwasher size, a normal dishwasher size.
But it's got a top and a bottom.
You can all see Deirdre's 2 dishwashers there on YouTube.
So it's got a top dishwasher and a bottom dishwasher. So it's neat. It kind of looks a bit like a fridge with a freezer underneath it.
Yes, yeah. So she did attach it, and then she says the best machine in the kitchen along with the coffee machine. I feel like a salesperson. Wow. Now, she also did touch on the whole thing of the smell of our dishwasher at the moment.
Oh yeah, because I put something that had aftershave that's spilled.
Yeah,
everything
put in
smells and tastes
aftershave.
of
So everything smells of the horrible scent that Carl was wearing for a while. Anyway, it wasn't a nice scent. I didn't enjoy the scent.
Well, I'm glad it's gone.
Yes. So read the smell of the spill scent. Best of luck with that. I broke a jar of garlic infused oil once, cleaned it up and put the cloths in the wash machine and tumble dryer. Oh my God, the smell went everywhere. All the clothes, everything in the hot press smelled of garlic. I had to throw out a lot of stuff. I used so many cleaning products to no avail, though the smell eased over time, and I changed the washing machine that year. Lesson learned, always clean up with paper towels. I know Ash won't have garlic in the house anyway. Keep up the great work on the pod.
Thank you.
Best wishes, Deirdre.
Okay, very good. Thank you for getting back to us, because I actually didn't know if there would be anyone who had 2 dishwashers in the house.
Yeah. Here's another one now for you.
Actually, while you're doing that, I'm going to start pouring out this water.
Oh, thank you. So this one came in, it's titled Arse Washer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, again, read the gadgets, okay? Comes in from Laura.
This is to do with a bidet. I was talking about bidets.
You were talking about bidets, yes.
Should we get one?
So Laura said, my kids came across this, please wash me with that hot water and you're tripping over wires. So my kids came across this when we went into Portugal and they became obsessed with it. This is a bidet. Yeah. So roll on 5 years after Portugal and we're doing up our house this year, and we asked the kids anything you would like to add to the house. My son suggested a bidet, and that was his request. We were laughing and said we are not expecting that, and we said no problem.
Really?
Yeah. The hardship trying to source one. Anyway, we got it and they love it still. Okay.
I think the big problem as well that you find with bidets is finding someone to fit them, because you have to get an electrician as well, don't you?
I don't know that.
Oh no, there's different plumbing involved. Sorry, maybe not an electrician, but there's different
plumbing for the bidet, is there?
Yeah. I've never used one. I've never actually squirted my arse with a bidet.
Did you ever use any of those funky toilets when you were in Vietnam or anywhere like that?
No, and I'd love to.
The next bit of correspondence is coming in from Jennifer Brown. So this comes in off the back of, you read out a 5-star review from Apple Podcasts, I think, and it was someone that was coming from Bahrain, listening in from Bahrain.
Yes, it was. I think it was that. I was mentioning how we get the listenership stats, and some of the countries that people are listening in are very interesting. Sorry, what it was that we were number 12 one week in the kids and parenting charts in Bahrain.
Yes.
And I was like, that's weird.
Yes.
So I was like, it must be expats living in Bahrain. So I just put it out there. I was like, if anyone's listening in Bahrain, let us know.
So anyway, Jennifer Brown emailed in and she said, Bahrain calling. Listened to your podcast last night, and yes, I am Irish living in Bahrain. So it is her that messaged us, mid-war zone at the moment. But it was so nice to hear you mention Bahrain in the pod. Keep up with the amazing content. You are hilarious. Kind regards. And Jen Brown is a teacher because she signed off with her little school.
The little like built-in signature.
Yeah.
Jen, nice one. Thank you so much for sending the email.
Thanks,
and for listening in. Because do you know what as well? Like, you do have to say, maybe it doesn't feel that way, but I can't imagine it's the easiest part of the world to be living at the moment. Like, it must be kind of a bit scary not knowing what's going to happen or what's going on. But anyway, thank you so much for the email. That's absolutely lovely to hear from you. And to know that, well, you've been contributing to us going to number 12 in the charts in Bahrain.
Thank you for that. Next one comes in from Ciara Mullan. I was listening to the bonus episode today and I just had to message about the tea taste test. So that's why I thought it was quite fitting.
Perfect.
First of all, I'm with Aisling on the Lyons bandwagon all the way. I was on a J1 many years ago now and met some Americans that didn't believe I would know the difference between Lyons and Barry's. This led to a blind taste test, and even with the American milk, I literally knew at the first sip which one it was. You just can't beat the cup of Lyons. Can't wait for yours this week to see if it's the same for Aisling. Hope you had a lovely Easter, Ciara. Ciara, I'm nervous now.
Taste test,
Right,
and I'll
let's go.
reveal all the results at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So, because they've been stewing there for a bit, but also hopefully won't be too hot.
That's
That's going to
definitely that's Barry's.
burn the shit out of you. Okay, let's go for number 1 first. I'll let you pick that up yourself.
I'll pick them up.
You pick them up, okay?
That's Lyons.
Okay, and what one are you going for?
That was original. I wouldn't know the difference now between your originals and your gold blends.
Okay, all right. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, so number 2, then go for that.
That's definitely not Lyons anyway.
Okay, so you're not a fan of that.
It's just the flavour is different.
Okay.
Number 2 is Bewley's.
Number 2 is Bewley's. You're saying.
Before I even taste this, I know this is Barry's.
Okay, so that's number 3. You're saying.
Yeah.
And are you going to go with?
I'm sticking with. I wouldn't know the difference between original or whatever.
Okay, so
I didn't even
Barry's.
drink it because I could. It's the fume that I get. You know,
Okay.
like when you inhale the air.
okay,
That was a Barry's inhale.
okay.
I didn't even need to taste it.
Okay, so we're saying Barry's original. We're going to say number 4.
That's Barry's.
Number 4, you're saying Barry's. We're going to say gold blend.
I'm going back to number 4 again.
Okay,
At me so intently.
because I'm interested to see what our findings are going to be.
I'm sticking with 5 as Lyons.
Okay,
Gold.
Lyons gold blend. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Hit me with my lack of knowledge.
okay, so the
I said
experiment
number
has
1.
been done. We'd 5 different tea bags.
Yes.
Barry's gold and original blend.
Yes.
Lyons gold and original blend. And then as a little curveball, we had Bewley's in there
Yes.
as well. On number 1, you guessed that it was Lyons. That was Lyons tea gold.
Lyons tea gold.
Lyons tea gold blend. So you got the
Okay.
brand right.
I got the brand right.
Okay, so not a good start for me in terms of proving my point.
Okay.
So,
This means the rest of them are wrong.
number 2, Bewley's. You were absolutely spot on.
That's brilliant. Like, isn't that brilliant?
Absolutely spot on.
Okay. Oh, God, I'm very proud of myself.
On number 3,
Okay.
you know what you don't like? It was Barry's tea original.
Cue the Lyons partnership.
on number 4.
Go on.
Number 4 was
Barry's.
Lyons original
Lyons.
blend.
Okay, right.
And that's the one that you say is your absolute favourite.
I didn't say anything was my favourite. I said Lyons, the brand. I wouldn't know the difference. As I said, I would not know the difference
So
between
then-
original or gold
So then
blend.
that though, if that's the logic, then you would say that actually you should be drinking Barry's gold blend because you seemed to like that because you thought that it was Lyons.
4 and 5.
So on 5, just give the results on 5, that was Barry's gold blend.
Yeah, but I couldn't decipher the difference by that stage. That's why I had to keep cleansing my palate because they all tasted the same.
So, but here's the thing, when
Yeah.
you get to the upper echelons,
Yes.
it seems as though the difference is less stark for both brands because you were able to tell very, very clearly when it was the original blends, which was which.
Let me have a look at the tea bags. though.
When you went to up to the gold level, that's when you found it harder to tell. Okay, so thus concludes our first experiment we've ever done on How You Lovey.
And like
To be fair,
1, 2, 3.
you were pretty close.
No,
Actually,
I wasn't because I didn't
at
get the blends right. But on brand, I got the brands right.
Well, you got the brands mixed up though when we got to the gold blends. No, sorry, you didn't. You
I
got the
didn't.
brands mixed up on Lyons original blend and Barry's tea gold blend. 4 and 5 you got mixed up. But for the most part, you did pretty okay. So there you go. First science experiment here on How You Lovey. I think they're all beautiful teas, and I think we're very lucky to have them here, and I appreciate them all equally.
Where's Lyons made? Mum said she uses original, but it's all the same, really.
It's all
So
the
I
same.
actually
It's all
think,
the same, really. Martina, she's with me. It's all the same.
But I think.
What a way to finish.
Where's Lyons made?
Go on. What? Where's Lyons?
Produced in the UK.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No.
It is a popular Irish brand, but is currently owned by Unilever and produced in the United Kingdom. While it has deep roots in Irish history, founded in 1904, the tea leaves are sourced from blah, blah, blah in India. It is often distinguished from Barry's tea, which is still produced in Ireland.
No.
Okay, I'm going to have to start liking Barry's more.
Wow. There you go.
What?
How slanderous was that, you saying anything against Barry's? That is madness.
You just need to change your hue and your fume.
Right. Well, there you go. Thus concludes another week of How Are You, Lovey? Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, share and subscribe to the podcast. Rate us 5 stars. Please pass it on to anyone who you think might be interested or might get something out of it. We'd love to spread the How You Lovey love.
Please don't spread your love.
Okay, right. Let's finish.
Right.
That's it. Good luck. Have a great week.
Goodbye, Slán.
Bye.